Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Cooking for the Yum of It. Today I'm going to be preparing a pork and vegetable stew, so let's get started. Now the first thing we need to start with is 4 pounds of pork meat. Now the recipe called for stew meat. Oh, sorry, camera jiggled there a little. But I was able to get a pretty good deal on boneless pork ribs, so I decided to use those instead. This all goes into the slow cooker after we slice it into more or less bite-sized chunks. Always have a nice sharp knife handy in the kitchen. Now, I'll be making a few changes to this recipe as I make it, because there were some ingredients I do not care for, and if don't like to eat it, why should I? If I don't like the taste of something, why should I put it in my mouth and eat it? Remember, if you don't like any of the ingredients that I'm using, you can always change it yourself. Now, some people tell you to always trim the fat off of your meat. You can trim some of it off, but whenever possible, I like to leave some fat because that's where you get most of the flavor from. You can also make the pieces if you're slicing up the meat yourself rather than having it ready-made stew meat. It's however size chunks you want. Okay, now we go on to our next ingredient, which is a chopped onion. I was reading an interesting article, or maybe it was a video I saw. In the Middle Ages, this part of the peel they'd take off, and what they didn't feed to the pigs, they would actually boil for a sort of a yellowish dye for their clothing and other fabrics. Really quite interesting. Always keep your fingers away from the sharp part of the knife. You want to put onion in the stew, not your fingers. Now, next thing we do after we've chopped our onion is to first make sure we're in camera range, and then sprinkle the onion over the pork. And don't let any of the onion pieces escape. They think they're clever, but you're smarter. Obviously you're smarter. You're watching me. If nothing else, that proves your intelligence. Next, and yes, I did say next, we're going to peel and mince 3 cloves of garlic. While I clean up this peeling, and then we slice off the little tips. Clean that part up. Then we use our magic garlic mincer. Oh yeah, that's good. And just as we did with the onion, we sprinkle our garlic into the stew above the pork. Before going on to our next phase. Now the next thing we're going to do is peel and chop 4 carrots. Abracadabra. Wasn't that wonderfully quick doing it that way with magic? Okay. Now the carrots now go into the slow cooker. Whoop. Looks like one carrot got away. So that one won't get eaten. Now our next ingredient is some celery. Now the recipe originally called for fennel, but I do not like fennel. I despise it with every fiber of my being. So I will not be using it, and instead will be replacing it with chopped celery. So as I did with the carrot, abracadabra. And there we have it. Sliced, chopped actually, celery, although I'm not really sure if there's a difference. Now that goes in to the slow cooker. And we set our cutting board aside and our little bowl there. Now the next thing we need to do is prepare the seasonings and a few other things. One more. And we're back. Now we're going to take okay, see, if the tablespoon won't fit, the recipe calls for 1 tablespoon cumin. However, those measuring spoons won't fit into the opening, so we'll go, these are my grandmother's vintage 1970s Tupperware measuring spoons, and we'll add 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1 tablespoon. Sorry about that delay. I forgot to get the coriander out of the cabinet. This 1/2 1 tablespoon of coriander. Yes, this is going to be quite a spicy stew. Now we need 1 teaspoon only, just 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, one of the hottest of the peppers, although I'm sure there's someone out there right now getting ready to tell me that such and such pepper is much hotter. If you want to use it, use that one. I'm using cayenne. And oh come on, doesn't want to, lid doesn't want to go back on. I'll get them later. Now we need 1 teaspoon again of ground cinnamon. I use a lot of cinnamon, so this one I buy, or I get others to buy for me at Costco in bulk, because I use quite a lot of it. Now this part is going to take a little bit longer. Now the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of freshly ground ginger, but ginger is I think ginger is a very strong item, so I'm not going to use 2 tablespoons. I will, however, be using 1 tablespoon. And here's something I found out recently. Like most vegetables where you would use a peeler like this, the skin on ginger is actually so easily removed, you can actually do it with a spoon. So let me get that out of the way and finish peeling my ginger. I only learned this recently, something even my grandma didn't know, which I found shocking because I always thought she knew just about everything when it came to cooking. But live and learn. Now this is probably going to be a lot more than 1 tablespoon here. But we'll find out. Many of you are having headaches. I've never done it myself, but I've heard that chewing on fresh ginger like this will actually help instantly cure a headache. I've never tried it because, like I said, ginger is a rather strong flavor. I still remember the time I went to a sushi restaurant back in Stockton called Show Me, and I didn't know what to order, so I ordered the combination platter, and in the very center was a cute little pink thing that looked like a rose, and I thought, oh, isn't that pretty? It's a rose made out of some kind of fish, like salmon or something, and I thought, that's so nice, I think I'll save that and eat it for last, because it's just so pretty. Imagine my surprise when I found out it was not a piece of fish shaped to look like a rose. So anyway, as I said, I'm only going to be using 1 tablespoon of ginger. If I find out at the end of this that it needs more, I can always add more next time I make this. Okay. And again, maybe this will just be 1 tablespoon worth. It grates kind of funny. Ooh. Actually, it smells kind of lemony. I never really... As you're grating it, fresh ginger, I think, smells kind of lemony. Makes me wonder if I could use lemon instead of ginger. I won't, but it makes me wonder. Of course, I wonder about a lot of things. Okay. That looks like it should be a tablespoon. Nice and fresh, grated, lemon-scented ginger. Okay. Now, first we're going to mix up our dried seasonings here first. And we're going to sprinkle that. Now, take the ginger. Let's see. Actually, yeah, 1 tablespoon. We'll mix that in with the half cup of low sodium chicken broth that we then pour over the top of our mixture. Placing the lid, plugging in our slow cooker, and as we adjust our camera, we will go manual, set the temp to low, and manual, set temp to low, and we will be cooking, cooking this for 7 hours on low. I will see you back when the stew is done. Now, I know I said 7 hours, but I decided to give this stew of mine a good stir at the 3 hour and 22 minute mark. And I can tell you this, it smells absolutely fantastic. See you soon. Well, there it is. My pork and vegetable stew. Oh, it looks and smells just so fantastic. I am going to go get myself a bowl and eat some now. Okay. Carrot's good. Good celery. Ooh, still a little hot. Yeah, delicious. I have to say, if I do say so myself, completely delicious. Excellent stew. So that's my pork and vegetable stew. If you get a chance to make it, I hope you enjoy it as much as I am now. And always remember, eat and enjoy.